snatch them out of the devil's kingdom. Oh, snatch them out of the devil's. And if they don't want it, don't fuss it. And if they refuse it, then dust your feet out the door and keep stepping until you find someone who trusts. The name of the Lord is where I'm hidden, and all I do is.
That's right. Come on. Lord. Alright. To die for. So that's all this one.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without a cast to part two.
Part two. Hey! High five. Hey,
Download.
Hey.
Too slow.
I know, say you good one.
What's good, people? What's going
What's
on?
up? Oh, how you guys doing? Oh,
Are you people doing voice of us? Is that how they used to do?
is that what they do?
No, but no. Okay, maybe a couple of people
A
actually.
couple of people have been asking actually that where's the podcast and all that, but still, some of you have not checked.
Yes, you, especially you. Yes, you.
I'm giving you bombastic side eye.
So it's good. It's
What's
good.
up?
How do you do? It's been a while. I've
How
seen
do you
you
do
on
this?
this couch.
It's been a while I've seen you on this for this show too. Okay,
Yeah.
but I think we've actually even changed the set a little bit. You
Yeah,
know,
just a little bit.
We're just
What y'all
popping
think?
things, you know.
Yeah.
But how you guys doing? For those who are just new to this, you're welcome to the Meet the Snatchas podcast. You know, where we share our true life stories, we share our personal truths, and also come up with topics and things around relationships, family, kids, all of that.
And like we say, we did not go to school to study this. It's our life experience. Sometimes you can go to school and study it. By the time you go back on the street don't change.
Street don't change.
But
Yeah, very true.
we come with you with our opinion of how we see life and the things that we are doing right, the things that we're doing wrong, and where we see our mistakes and loopholes, and where we think we're doing all right.
Yes, and we just shared them with you. And we just want to say a very big thank you to you guys. I know recently we posted videos of two of our daughters receiving awards in school.
Yeah.
And you guys, actually came all out to celebrate with us and, congratulate us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And and a lot of people kept asking us, how did we do it? How are we ensuring that our children are being trained the right way and are following the right path, in the way of the Lord, especially for Zion, who received a very special, different kind of award for faith.
Yeah.
That is a child that is using her faith in Jesus, a faith in Christ, to actually to use it in different scenarios in school, using Jesus as an example, in different scenarios and helping her friends and all out. And everybody was like, we got a lot of questions like that, DMs and messages from people saying, please, can you teach us or help us? And that is why we have decided that we're going to have this special episode of the podcast today, talking about how...
share what we do.
Yeah.
And the things that we think is working. Because one thing as a parent is you never really know if what you're doing is right or wrong or working. You're thinking, okay, am I transferring my childhood trauma onto this child? Or am I being too soft? Am I being too hard? Am I being too, you really don't know which one you're doing. It's just do.
But to be honest, I give it to this young man because y'all definitely know our story. We're a blended family, and the truth is Snatcha and his late wife of blessed memory, Jay, actually built an amazing foundation for the kids that I met that foundation and I had no other choice but to build on it. These children were trained in the way of the Lord from when they were babies, literally taught how to be respectful, how to love Jesus, can you just share a little bit of the little things that you did from the very beginning when they were much younger?
I think from the very beginning we really didn't know what to do. But there wasn't oh my God, I have a child now, what do I do? It takes a lot of the fact that when it comes to our relationship with God, it was always paramount. And one thing I say about children is they are terrible listeners.
But
they're great imitators.
He's always saying that.
Yeah. No matter, you can tell them, when you come back from school, put your bags here, but they will still put it wherever they think fit and all that, and they'll just forget. But when they see you model a particular way, they just follow it because as far as they're concerned, their mind is fresh, is new. So it's up to you to now begin to design it.
Meaning that you were more or less leading by example.
By example. So I mean,
yeah.
I had a book of the day, so I'm reading a book and then going through the book. I could see they would want to sit with me. I have a picture of 7. We're on the train. I was reading the newspaper. I didn't know she was probably like 3. And she has another newspaper. She just took another one and sat beside me, just like
With the newspaper. Copying
yeah,
daddy.
yeah. And so they see us
Yeah.
do things and like, okay, I see you read, so okay, that means reading is good. I'll read too. So I'm always carrying a book. They carry a book. Then also, when it comes to, you notice that every time you serve them, they go like, thank you, mommy, for the food. Thank you, daddy, for the food.
Yeah.
We had to let them know that, look, yes, we do our best to make sure there's food on the table.
Yeah.
You just appear and, you sit down and voila, there's food. You need to thank God for the food. You need to thank your parents
Yeah.
for providing the food and all of that. So, for making the food that God provided. So we started showing them bit by bit. Then also we were having what we call fellowship in the house.
Yeah.
And so they were also involved in that.
Oh, nice.
And every night there was Bible story. When we started the Bible story thing, to be honest, I used to sit down, tell them a story, then tell them Bible stories. Then I got very busy and we had this cheat mode that I would do. I just go online, search for Bible stories videos and play on YouTube.
Yeah.
I just play that on YouTube for them to watch. But what I realized is once we get into the car and we're driving, the first thing they want is VeggieTales or Bible story songs. Oh, tell us that story. They were really intrigued by his Bible stories and we started,
But that was more or less
that.
continuity. That's
Yeah.
what you were trying to do, in the sense that you were doing your part physically with them. That is, you spend time with them to show them how to do stuff. Then for moments when maybe you're busy working, you make sure that you continued by maybe showing them a video of the Bible story. So it became a continuous way of life for them,
Exactly.
which has now begun to show even in their expressions, in their train of thoughts, and the way they look at life.
Yes.
Yes, because they've constantly been seeing it.
That model. And it helped a lot because we worked from home.
Yeah.
And if I have to go for a show or go for a shoot, it will be weekends, so we're more there rather than it wasn't a outsourcing raising your kids.
Yeah.
So, but even when you now find out that you're in season in your life whereby you're very busy, it's being intentional to say that was when we invented the movie night. They say, okay, every week everyone has stuff to do. Yes, we're working from home, but we're always on the laptop and all of that, or taking calls or doing stuff. And so Fridays, phones off, nothing else is as important. We pick a movie, which we, the parents, sometimes would have pre-watched,
Yeah.
or at least get an idea of what it
the
is.
movie is about.
So we sit down, then we watch, then we start to pose questions. It helps to get what are they thinking. Then also, when they're back from school, I don't just say, how was school? Because all you get is, fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. So you were like, oh, so what happened today?
What
Tell
did
me,
you-
what's the most exciting thing that happened today in school? Or what was the saddest thing that happened today in school?
And now I see what you have created with that, because now when our children actually come back from school, they really want to tell you everything down to the detail, down to that friend that so person didn't talk to me today. As in, someone just come, mommy, you know what? Today this, and sometimes, they come at times
here for it.
they come at times when you're busy, you're trying to do something else, but we've actually learned that it's very important to listen to what they want to tell you, because you don't want to get to a point where your child will now feel like, I can't talk to my parents.
Yeah.
You want them to be able to tell you everything. So they actually come and tell us details of everything that happened. Oh, how this person was running around the playground, how this one was shouting in class, how some children were doing this. They actually come and tell you everything. And it's important to, pay attention to your kids when they come to you, and ensure that you really, really find out how their day goes, because at the end of the day, we really want our children to see us as their friends apart from their parents, because you really want them to be able to talk to you.
And when we say friends, we don't mean the friends the type that now are for you, but friends in the fact that they can open up.
Yeah.
Open up and say, oh, this is what I'm going through. You need to strike that balance whereby you can be able to, Ace, where you? Face there.
Yeah.
And at the same time be like, oh, come on. But before we go on, I want to put it to you. What you coming in? How was it for you?
For me, basically, like I said earlier on, you had created such an amazing foundation for me that it was just so easy to build on it. Because the truth is that the principles you had in place are more or less the same things that I live by. So it was very, very easy. And I remember growing up that way to going to the way my own parents brought me up. And also when we go to Sunday school, how, they teach us to learn a Bible verse, all those things. And those were things that, Snatcha has also put in place, whereby the kids have a Bible verse of the week. And what I love is that we tie the Bible verse around real life scenarios for them. Maybe when they come back from school sometimes and they're saying, oh, this maths is too hard. Oh, I didn't get it. No, we're now trying to find a scripture that says, you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. And we remind them okay, go and, keep repeating the scripture. We even write it on the wall in their room. So it's something they see every day. And, they recite it to themselves too. So it becomes a part of them that even our children, when they now see us down sometimes, they would actually throw our own words back at us and say, Daddy, don't worry, you are strong. You can do all this. Because, like we said, they learn by imitation.
Yeah.
So the truth is that they also see us pray. They see us praying. They see us worshiping. I'm a worship leader at church. Their daddy is a prayer warrior. So, and they also see us pray and worship. So before you know it, you see them also, and they see us when we're also being prophetic with them, praying over them. And our children actually pray over us too. I remember the other day you were trying to pray for them, typical way, but before they go to bed at night. And, Snatcha was laying hands on the kids, just, I cover you with the blood of Jesus. Do you know our children, Trinity, now came and said, Daddy, I cover you too with the blood of Jesus. She laid her hands on us too. And
amen.
And we said amen, because sometimes even my daughter does that sometimes. Trinity, she is our daughter, sorry. Trinity, one day, I remember I went to just check up on them. We had already sent them to bed to sleep and all of that. And I just went in the room, just normal checkup I do sometimes before I go to bed. And as I just entered the room, she was still wide awake, trying to get that sleep mode on. And she just said, Mommy, come up, I need to pray for you. And she just held me.
She has that.
She's like, everybody knows that we have two major prophets in this house, Zion and Trinity. And Trinity just said, Mommy, I need to pray for you. And she just held me and started speaking great words into my life. And she was like dead on point. And she was just speaking into my life, encouraging me and praying for me. And I was like, out of the mouth of babes, man, when our children want to pray for us, are they wrong quick? My husband knows. I say, pray. I know, say, you people, your hearts are still pure. You they hear quick from God.
And it's amazing. Hang on till the end, because we're going to give you some of the we're going to set out some of the links of videos that we play for them and all that. I know some of you want to know what we play for them at night and all of that, but I was going to say also that, for instance, Rain, remember that time that Rain, you and Rain were doing the ABCs?
Yeah.
And Rain just started prophesying.
Oh, yeah.
He just said, don't run away from God. And it was as if he was warning me.
No, it was. It
was like, don't run away from Jesus, because Jesus
is the Son of God.
This is my three.
It was even the switch that was amazing. Because we were doing something else. I was recording him and his sisters. They were doing their homework and all of that. So you can imagine from ABC, and all of a sudden he just looked dead on into the camera and just said, "Don't run away from Jesus. Jesus loves you." And I was like, And I just knew at that point in time, really, that God was speaking through him at that time for us in the house, and also for people that we're going to share the video with. And the truth is, that is just an evidence of the atmosphere in which our children are constantly under. You need to constantly create that atmosphere around your children. That's the truth. It's intentional.
It's intentional.
It's intentional.
Like I said, the world is going to hell breakneck speed in the handbasket. We need to be able to save a generation that is endangered. We need to be able to teach them how to love, how to understand, how to accommodate, but at the same time, how to remain who they are in God, and how to stand firm. And also, there was one thing we also wanted to talk about, is building confidence. We've talked about the spiritual. We can still go back and forth that. For instance, I know my daughter seven grew up with battling psoriasis, in which we've been trying to. But
it's the water here in the UK.
Yeah, so it's a skin irritation thing and all of that. And we noticed that after a while, it started affecting her confidence, because she started having patches because of the itching and all of that. So we noticed that. So we have to keep telling them, look, speak up, speak clear, be loud. stand your ground.
Speak your mind
speak
when
your
you
mind
need to.
when you need
When
to.
you're being asked a question, share your own thoughts.
Yeah.
And all of that, your own perspective about things. That
things.
it's good that you are able to share your own mindset too whenever you are
Just
being
be
spoken
respectful
to.
and polite about it.
Yeah.
Academics.
And I was actually going to go there. Thank you for pointing that to me. That
Yeah.
and what we do with the academics is that we actually create routine.
Yeah.
It's very important that you make your children follow a certain routine. Children, number one, will always be children. You need to understand that. And as much as we try to bring out the mature side of them, the children will still be children.
Yeah.
So you have to be firm in a good way to ensure they follow routine. That is when they come back from school, make sure there's a plan. Okay, you guys will have lunch at so time, and after that you have to do your homework, or you have to do some reading
Before your
playtime, or you have to have a nap time. Let there be some kind of
Dinner
routine.
time is this, bedtime is
Because trust
this.
me, I know a lot of parents will say, he's not listening. He's not. No, trust me, it will not be straightforward at first, but the more you continue that routine, they will get used to it. Even my younger brother told me recently that I actually told him, because he and his family just moved to the UK recently, and my younger brother told me that, the advice I gave him the other day that he had started working, because I told him to that. The kids here, you have to put them under a routine and all of that, or else they can get really, really too full of play.
Yeah.
And he told me that he actually set up a routine with his daughter that once she gets back from school, she has a register that she must go and sign, and she must read a book or do some work before she can actually touch her tablet. Yeah. So that right now that he started is slow, but now she comes back from school, she doesn't even wait for him to tell her to go and sign the register. Now they go like, Daddy, I've signed the register, and she's just
and give them reward charts.
Yeah,
reward for things.
She's just 6 years old, so it's not like they are big children like that. So you have to give them routine to help them out. That's what we're trying to say, that children need routine. Like ours too, we make sure that even Rain has his own routine. See, even Rain said, before Rain is our baby who is 4 years old. The truth is, Rain would see even learnt by imitation. The moment he sees that his siblings have started their homework, Rain will come and meet you and say, Mommy, Daddy, where's my own homework? What am I supposed to do?
Something for him. Okay, go color.
Yeah, he knows that that's not the time to play. So he too is like, I need to be doing my own work too. As in, like, when they give him homework from his nursery, he will not let us rest. Mommy, I have homework. Mommy, I'm ready to do my homework now. I'm ready to do my homework now.
Daddy, I want to watch something. There was a time he said he was bored, wanted to watch something. So I played him one of those cartoons. I think it was Transformers. Said, no, I want to watch Bible stories. The one where Jesus died.
Yes.
I said, okay, why? Because he came back again.
Yes.
I said, oh, okay.
No, that's his favorite Bible story.
Every night.
His favorite Bible. We tell him that he's Jesus' boy. He just said the one where Jesus died. We're like, why? Because normally you will not expect a 4-year-old. You will expect that 4-year-old to like other major, all the other playful stories in the Bible.
David the shepherd boy, things like that.
But that actually is Rain's favorite Bible story.
Yeah.
He said, because, Jesus died for all of us. You will not say Jesus died for us. And then he rose again. So the truth is, put these things in front of your children, find out what they like. Because we actually asked them one day that what are their favorite Bible stories, and everyone has a different one. Some people prefer the Ruth, Esther, David, but Rain's own is Jesus. He likes the birth of Jesus and the resurrection of Jesus. So it's all about just being consistent.
Speaking positive into their lives.
Yeah.
Be careful of the words that you speak to them. Encourage them with words. Tell them how great they are.
Yeah.
Tell them they're this. And, just teach them. I mean, for us, we have more girls. And it's a great thing, that, having a woman now, because I've been telling someone since you are soon going to see your period. Stop, Daddy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was.
And anytime she comes and says, my stomach says, I say, period time.
Maybe your period is coming. So that's another thing you have to be mindful of. Your children are growing.
Yeah.
Most of them are going to start growing into their teenage years. At that point in time, there are different things you have to start talking to them about, because they're already talking to them about it in school.
Yeah.
Our kids already came back from school that they've already started having sex education already in school. So you want to make sure that you give them the right sex education at home, at least for their their age level and make sure you explain it as simple as possible to them. Let your children know, especially the girls, about the changes that's going to happen to their bodies and all of that, so that it doesn't come as any form of surprise to them. When that moment comes, when all of a sudden I'm like, the moment you see, your period coming, please let me know. This is what you need to do. I've already started showing her how to fit a sanitary pad on her undies. You have to start showing them all these things because she's already 11 years old. It actually starts from about this age. So things like that, you have to be real with them according to their age level. Don't always treat your children like babies most times. Trust me. The way the world is, even right now, they're being told a lot already in school. So you need to start letting them know a lot already from home to save you all the wala of life out there. Yeah.
Another thing we also do is treat them as individuals, because now seven is the first one. She believes, she has this firstborn mentality.
Yeah.
Want to take care of everyone. Want to be treated as a grown-up.
Yeah.
So she will ask you questions. When her mom and I are probably in the kitchen, we're talking, or somewhere talking, she'll want to involve herself in the conversation.
She likes hanging around with adults.
We like say we're not
talking to you.
She likes that. Trinity is very emotional. And sometimes, there are times where we can be able to tell that where she's trying to get away with this emotions.
Yeah.
So it says,
Yes.
and all of that. And there's some certain times where she's just unable to control how she feels. Now, being able to guide her that way and not saying, why can't you be like your sister? Why can't you be like that? I mean, I know growing up when they compare me to especially
that's true.
That's somebody living down the road like that.
Why can't you be like Madame Kelly?
Do you know what is going on in their house?
But that's true.
Yeah. So for Zion is independent.
She's quiet, but she likes to have fun. She loves to dance, but she's very bold. She's not shy. She's very bold.
She is a hugger. She can hug strangers on the road.
We have to even tell her, say, Auntie, calm down. Don't be
hugging
everybody. Don't be hugging everybody.
Not everybody you see. Until we say, okay, attack. Then you can hug.
Then Rain, he is actually also very caring and very helpful.
Oh yeah.
At his age already.
When we're done eating, he will just, are you done? I'm like, why? Are you done? When we're done, he will clear the
He will
plates.
come and clear your plates. He would help to even rearrange the tables, the stools, everything. Rain is also someone that when he passes by and he sees something out of place, papers on the floor, he will pick things up. He's helping. He'll say, Mommy, I saw this. Mommy, I saw that. He always helps to clean up. And so we can already see their different traits. So we begin to make sure that we are guiding those traits rather individually and making sure that they are the best of themselves and all of that. But children will always be children. They will still test you once in a while. But you have to make sure that you are correcting in love to help to deal with their excesses when it happens and whenever they go out of line and all of that.
And be careful not to, as parents, we go out to the world, we're trying to hustle and make the money and make sure everything is sorted. Be careful not to let it out on the children, not to transfer that aggression. Somebody upset you in the office, you're looking for who to transfer it to. Try not to. They didn't.
It's not them. Yeah.
They didn't. It's not. They're not the ones.
Yeah. And like we also, my husband and I try to do, especially, we are very mindful of the words. Even sometimes your children will get you upset. We're being realistic. They will get you so angry. You have to be mindful of the way you talk to them. And then, of course, sometimes you will definitely have to give them some punishments. Over here in the UK, of course, we know they beat our pikin for it. We don't beat our children, but you give them constructive punishments. Yeah. And as you're giving them that constructive punishment, you're saying, do you know why you're being having punishment? Do you understand what this is about? And
Nikki's favorite punishment. Go and write 300 times. I will never, ever, ever.
But the funny irony, I love that punishment because number one, it helps with their handwriting, one. Then I'm also working on their handwriting. Two, I'm also playing with the law of repetition. When you have to write over and over again, I will not do this again. I will not do this again. I will not do this again. You want it to keep repeating in their head over and over again. But trust my children, when I'm now the one that maybe one day I forgot something, you say, Mommy, go and write 50 times. You will not do this again.
And create that atmosphere where your children can play with you.
I'm telling you, I'll be like, these children will say, yes, Mommy, you told us to go and write your own. Go and write 50 times. I will not do that again. I was just like, oh my God, these children. And that lets us know that our children don't see the punishment we give them as suffering. They themselves know I did something wrong. I have to bear the consequences of what I did wrong. So they learn from it and they move on. They don't hold it to heart. They actually move on. And that's why they can joke about that same punishment later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, so financial responsibility. Recently, Seven had a birthday and she was 11. And for her birthday present, we gave her a gift card.
Yes.
And she was excited. Okay, you can go
And
buy
we're like,
whatever.
go shop.
But when we went with her and say, look, we're not going to decide or pick for you what you want to buy.
Yeah.
It's probably you want something that you know that we will either buy you the mommy would buy you from the reduced segments, from the sales parts. But you really want this really nice, just whatever. But we had to tell her that. But when shopping, since this is your first time, here are the laws of shopping. You know, you have X amounts. Think about it. How can I spread it well? Or do I want to buy this, that? I was like, look, I can buy my t-shirts anyway. But it could be cheap. It could be whatever. I try to make sure my jeans are something that it's good and lasting. It might be a little more expensive than normal. You know, we just had to tell her that, why don't you mix that with that? Why don't you do that with that? Then when we go home, I told her that, do you know how this works? Let's imagine you earn £100. You can work, you earn £100. You're like, oh my God, £100. I said, cool down. Out of that £100, the government's going to take 40%. That's taxes.
Yeah.
Why do they have to take my money?
Yeah. We're like,
You want
wait,
me to
they
be
come.
asking. They will take 40% of that, say. Then you're going to pay rent. You're going to remove rent for that. You're going to remove the bills from that. You've not shopped, you've not anything. Let's say you probably have a phone bill. Say, I don't have anything left. Aha!
So we're already trying to teach
You know,
our financial
this
responsibility
financial
that this is how life
responsibility.
is going to be. So even though we gave you a gift card, we're like, learn to spend wisely.
Yeah.
And choose the right things. Like, okay, let me give you an example. That day when we gave her that gift card, we were there with her in the store, and she first of all picked a pair of jeans that was like £12. And we're like, no, it's great. It's not like it's not great. But the question is, that's one item. Are you sure you want to buy one thing for £12? Or do you think that you could buy three
Just spread it
or
around.
other things? And she was like, oh, that's true. And she went and she found some really lovely, nice tops. And she now found another pair of jeans that was also of the same great quality, but instead it was at £6. So she was like, oh my God, that's so I can buy more stuff. You know, so stuff like that. We're just like, when you shop wisely. So at the same time, you can make sure that you can get more than what you even bargained for. You know, those are just the things that we
Also,
teach our
delayed
children.
gratification.
Yeah. And then we also make sure that we teach them to always serve and help each other and also serve others too. So once, that is why a Zion can go to school, like based on the award she was given, she can actually be on the lookout for others at school because she already does that at home, looking out for Rain. They all look out for each other at home. So they actually go out there and share that same love because we tell them we're Christians. We need to show other people the love of Christ, and they go out there in school and actually show the love of Christ.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That just reminded me of during Halloween season, since when that Trinity was little. She goes into, when we're in the stores, she starts shouting up and down, we don't believe in Halloween. We believe in Jesus.
Are you serious?
We were like, shh, go down. We believe in Jesus. Go down.
No, that's just it. Our children are very passionate about Christ and they don't hide it, you know, and it just shows. I remember Seven Two had one moment like that in her class. She came home from school one day and she said they did something in her class. They told everyone to take a piece of paper and write what they think about each other. And, you know, just share the paper with, don't write your name, just share it. So Seven came home with all the pieces of papers of what her classmates wrote about her. And we were so touched to see that everyone kept saying, she's kind, she's caring, she's helpful, she's always compassionate, she's this. And that's what everybody said. Everybody said the same thing about Seven. And it meant the whole world to us that, you know, that is what
That's the
our friends,
impression
that's
she
impression
gives outside.
she gives her for her friends in school. And of course, Trinity is the talkative one. She would speak her mind. She would say her heart. And, you know, we're told of how she loves to, you know, get up in class. She wants to share her own points and all of that. So we actually have taught our children to be bold, to be courageous. Of course, as usual, like we say, every child will still have their areas where you have to just constantly keep working and
I'd like
keep
to ask you a
helping them.
question.
Yeah, as they grow older.
I'd like to ask you a question.
Okay.
I don't know, in case you have any other points. If not, we can close on this.
yeah.
But I want to ask you, what are our clashes in parenting?
Our clashes in parenting. Funny enough, I think we have similar mindsets, but also because we are both Nigerians, but you spend more time. I travel.
British now.
I travel. I'm going somewhere. I travel back and forth. At least for the past 10 years, I've been traveling back and forth. But traveling back and forth is different from when you're now finally leaving, a particular country. My husband, of course, we grew up as Nigerians, but he's lived here a whole lot longer than me. When I mean lived in the system, I used to just visit the system back then. So of course.
And raise kids in the system.
And he has raised kids in the system. So of course, sometimes I want to come with my own Nigerian mindset of things, and my husband will have to say, Nikki, this is UK, the way we have to look at it, because we Nigerians, we come with this, no, you cannot allow them to just be crying just like that. You have to let them know, be strong, be tough, don't let them talk to you anyhow in school. I come with that mindset sometimes, and my husband will have to say, we will do that, but we have to do it more gently. But I kind of feel like it has helped our children to create a beautiful balance. It has helped them to create a beautiful balance, because at the same time, you just want them to be strong.
You want to prepare them for the world.
Because
the world
that's
will not.
The word,
There's no participation trophy in the world. In school they say, we don't want to give first, second, or third. Just a trophy of participation.
They don't do first, second, third here. Honestly.
It's just a participation. They don't do exam.
In
primary school. I mean,
in primary school,
especially if it's not private. But they just. So I'm like, we have to come back home and teach them. I can sit with them with English and all of that. When it comes to maths, when she told me, Daddy, what's the go and meet your mother? I'm busy. You want to come out and set me up?
Because I came from that country. I'm coming from Nigeria, where when I was in primary school, I was always first in my class, either first or second. And then, of course, when I finished my primary 6, now me collect all the awards. In my set.
Which I collect award for nice guy, ladies man,
DJ. My mom was actually, till today, my mom tells me the story. I remember vividly when I was in primary 6, when on our own prize giving day, my own prize giving day, and of course, as if for literally all the awards, I was the one collecting all the awards, that there was a mother sitting beside her, and she was like, my mom said she was just, waiting for them to finish before she would come and show herself. That there was a mother sitting beside her that was saying, that these girls' parents, that is me especially, you're talking about me, that these girls' parents must be very proud of her. My mom would say, yes, I'm the mother. I was like, hey.
And we rigged it.
Regards, no. But the truth was that I even got the most outstanding student for the entire set, in my primary 6. That was Grace Children's School in Bagada. Much love to Grace Children's School.
We'll go and check the reports to see.
And the truth is, so of course I came with them. I said, my children, they must be top of their class. No. They must,
I go down. What is the area of interest? Let's foster that. I mean, 7 now, 7. I mean, also after she did her 11 plus, she was really keen on. When we're thinking of what school she would go to, she was really 11 plus is to.
It's like their own common entrance.
It's not common entrance.
It's like I said, it's like
A levels.
Not A levels, though. They are going to secondary school.
Anyway, it's to get into grammar schools. And grammar schools are.
That's why I said common entrance is the best example you can use for it. Is common entrance.
Okay, I've totally forgotten.
A levels is for university.
Anyways, it's to get into good grammar schools are the good ones and all of that. But she was more concerned about where she wants to be a fashion designer. And what school has. I mean, she went to see all the schools and she picked the one that she felt had the best when it comes to fashion and all that. Trinity's creative and she's one of that. Zion is a mathematician. She's good. I know she'll be great in IT, but for now, she wants to be a baker.
And a dancer. She loves both.
So she does that.
She also wants to cook.
7 does sewing lessons already and all that. So
Trinity loves to sing. And write songs. She loves to write songs.
Brain likes whatever it is, depend on the day.
Depending on the day.
How sunny the day depends on that.
So the thing is that we just keep working on their strengths and also helping them to balance the weaknesses as well. And one thing we do is we praise the positives a lot. It's very important that when they do very well, make sure you encourage their positivity. Is that the right English? Encourage the positives, make sure whenever they do well, praise them, let them know, hey, you did great, and all of that. And at the same time, when they do wrong, find a way to ensure that, no, don't do it this way. These are the consequences of not doing it right. So it's very important that you create a beautiful balance. So I believe in everything we've said so far. Number one, the spiritual side of things is very key, because the spiritual controls the physical, whether we like it or not. So you have to make sure you're constantly praying over your children. You're constantly teaching them the word of God. keep that atmosphere of God around them. Worship with them. Yes, we also do that.
Yeah.
We actually sing and worship and praise with them. And when we get to church, we're like, no, don't just sit down. Worship.
And
thank
also,
God.
This is why we do this. This is why we do that.
Yeah.
The last time we were in church and we were having communion, and I mean, they just took it because they thought maybe, I didn't know. I mean, some kids would just take it thinking it's snack time.
No, our kids even understand communion because
we keep
we've
telling them
taught
again and
them,
again that this is, guys, just to check where you are. Why do we think we do this? And, and they were able to say. And another thing we do, and we said it, and we will do it, is that we've done it a couple of times where we ask them, okay, so tell us, and we're going to do it live one day without rehearsal.
Yeah.
What what areas do you think mommy and daddy needs to do better?
In taking care, in the way we relate
with you, take care of you. Just basically
actually
find out
do
where
that.
their mind is or their mindset. Where are you guys? What do you guys think about us? Okay, then this is our thoughts.
Yeah.
This is where we think you guys should get better. Also, take them out. I mean, you can just say, sometimes she goes like, 7, let's go with me to the shop, and they'll go around and sit down for a meal and talk.
Yeah.
Just
spend time with them. Spend quality time with them. That's actually where first of all, we talked about the spiritual side of things. Make sure that area is covered. Number 2, spend quality time with your kids. Get to know them, get to understand them, and constantly work on their strengths and help them deal with their weaknesses as well. Praise their positives. Every side, when they do well, when they do great, make sure you praise them, make sure you encourage them. And of course, routine. Make sure your kids constantly have a routine. A routine life helps to keep them focused. For us during the week, no tablets, no TV during the week. During the week.
That way they look forward to
the weekend.
The movie night. We have Fun Day Friday, we play games, watch TV, they can. But if they're watching all
week, no, we don't. It's better that, like we said, make sure you give them that routine. So it depends on you, what kind of routine you want to create for your kids. We're just giving you highlights of the kind of routines that we give, and we just give them a schedule and a routine so that it just helps them they are more focused and planned as well. Teach them to also be independent. Sorry, that's one area we have never talked about. It's important to start teaching your children how to be independent ahead of time. Once they are getting to about 7, 8, start when you give them a bath in the morning, teach them how to also start trying to have their bath by themselves.
When we brush Rain's mouth, for instance, after doing the first round and the first 2 rounds, then okay, now you do it yourself.
Try it. Because the truth is that especially in their school here, they always have to even change by themselves into their PE kits already they actually start changing.
When will let you change him?
I'm even trying to say that they actually start doing that from when they're about in reception. That's primary 1. They actually start telling them that your child should know how to change his or herself before they even come into primary 1. Rain is going into primary 1 now by September. That's reception. And trust me, right now,
let you pick out what he will
Rain
wear.
chooses his own clothes. Rain chooses his own pants, his own socks. As in, Rain dresses himself from head to toe already. So we know that area is covered. So start teaching them to be very independent from when they are very young. Start teaching them to allow them their potty training, everything, so that Rain by himself stopped using the potty.
Yeah.
He just told us one day, he said, potty are for babies. I'm not a baby. I'm like, okay. He stopped using the potty by himself. So things like that, teaching them to be independent, ask them, even concerning food sometimes, find out what their favorite foods are. Because I had some issues growing up that, mommy, daddy, I love you. My daddy is late though, but my mom, I love you. But there were some times that, I was forced to eat some certain foods. And sometimes I'm like, I don't like this food. So of course, because I don't like the food, I'll go and pour the food away.
Aha!
I'll go and pour the food away. I'm sure a lot of you guys did that thing when you were much younger. There was Mom's dressing table. It was behind that dressing table, I'll go and pour the food. I'm telling you.
What about the rats?
I didn't care. Children don't think. That's, logically, they just do stuff. I'll go and pour it behind. So later days, when the food don't spoil, they'll say something is smelling in this room. They will just realize, Nikki, you pause. I'm like, the food was too much. And sometimes quantity. Sometimes it wasn't that I didn't like the food, it was that the food was too much. And because they're trying to get, but so the things that watch your kids in a sense that it might not necessarily be, your child might not be the child that needs to eat 3 times a day. Your child might just be the child that needs to eat 5 times a day in the sense that they just want smaller portions. So understand your children. It also helps so that you're not forcing that child to overeat. And then at the end of the day, you're not saying, you're not eating. Can you cook? Sometimes maybe the food is too much. So also understand your children. So those are just major highlights of all the things we've actually said today.
And for the things, for instance, when it's bedtime, what we do is after praying with them, we play a Bible story. We can check Saddleback Kids for Bible stories for children.
Or Superbook.
It's really nice. Saddleback Kids has this drawing, the cartoons, the cartoon ones. Then you have Superbook.
Superbook.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all on YouTube, actually.
Yeah, they're on YouTube. So we just play that for them. We play like a 10 minutes one or 15 minutes one for them. Two
and
stories.
I love the way the stories are done. They're done in such creative ways that your children will love them.
Will love them and it will stick. Then after that, while they sleep at night, I play this. We have this dark screen Bible verses that just pray over them.
So like we're praying over
them. It's saturating and their subconscious mind is soaking
just
that
till
up.
they fall asleep.
Till they fall asleep,
then we'll put it off.
Yeah.
So we've actually said a lot on today's episode, and we can't really finish it all when it comes to training children because it's all still a learning curve.
Like Yoruba people say, it's God that trains the child.
Because it's still a learning curve. Because as they grow older, things will change, their needs will change.
And for me, I mean, people say they dread the teenagers, but I feel that once the foundation is great, and Father Lord help us, we won't have troubles on teens.
Yeah. So guys, make sure you keep supporting us at Meet the Snatchers. We thank you guys for hanging out with us on today's episode.
Don't worry, we won't leave it too long next time.
No, we're actually working on lots and lots of content for you guys. But like we always remind you, please, if you have any questions from this particular episode today, maybe there's a particular thing you need some advice on, maybe we could help you out, maybe concerning how you're trying to deal with your children, we will just try our best to actually help you out. Send us your questions to meetthesnatchers@gmail.com. Follow us as well.
And if you also have topics that you think that, you guys, I want you guys to touch on this. I mean, if it's something we've experienced, why not? Please send it to us. Follow us on Meet the Snatchers on all our social media platforms. We're on TikTok. We're on Threads. Yes. We're trending now.
We're trending now.
Needle and Thread.
We're on Threads. We're on Instagram. We're on, where else? I think that's it basically. And of course, we're on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe. Share this link with your friends. Anyone out there that you know is having some kind of maybe issues on how to help their children.
Someone you think might help.
Yeah, share our link with them. All right, guys. I still remain Nikki Lau. Yay.
I can change, but I remain Snatcher.
And we'll be catching you on another exciting episode of the Meet the Snatchers podcast.
ABC.
Oh, ABC.
Oh, buddy.
I thought it was A, B, C, D, F, G.
ABC.
All right, bye, guys. See ya.
She didn't know. He didn't know. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Meet the Snatchers podcast.
We hope it was an inspiring one for you today. And you know what? We look forward to hearing from you. You can actually send us your questions and comments via email, meetthesnatchers@gmail.com. Keep following us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done that yet. We look forward to catching up with you on the next episode of the
Meet the Snatchers podcast. And until next time, stay blessed.
Bye, guys.